movie Valerian?
No.
It's a new Luc Besson movie.
Who?
Yes, I have seen the guy and girl that have to...
Save the world or something like that.
Yeah.
It's called Valerian, and Luc Besson's the one that did it, and he's the one that did Fifth Element.
Oh, okay.
And Fifth Element's one of those movies where you either truly freaking loved it,
or you just didn't get it.
Yeah. You didn't take it for what it was.
Club M, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, you do.
I ain't got no fire.
Can you introduce the show like that?
No, probably not.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Walking My Wheels. Podcast talks about anything, has absolutely no structure. Me rolling through life with some pretty awesome friends. Hanging out with Matt and Grizz today. Been a minute, so just how y'all doing? We good?
No.
No,
I'm good. Yeah,
always in a great mood.
Yeah, always in a fantastic mood. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Well. I worked my ass off this week.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like
right on.
Friday, the end of Friday came, I was like, I actually caught up on everything. Except for one email. Let that one ride. But we're all good with that.
Hey, sometimes you just have to let it ride.
Let it ride. Isn't that a movie or something like that? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Have a good week?
Busy week.
Yeah.
Very, very, very busy. But podcast number 25, I believe. We are a quarter of a way to 100. How about that?
We are.
How about that?
Should we start planning our 100th and what we're going to do? I mean,
Probably not, since we have, a podcast with no structure and talks about anything. I just think we need to let it ride.
Jerry Seinfeld says, I don't get it.
So we were trying to figure out what to talk about today or this week. And it took me a second to get there. You joke there. Sorry about that.
This is a podcast about absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
That's right. The Seinfeld podcast, right?
Totally.
So, I clipped. So,
That's what she said.
yes. Oh, that wasn't a good one, I don't think.
No.
So, Grizz had a great idea about talking about Steven Spielberg movies. He's got another movie that's coming out soon, isn't he? Is he working on something?
Yeah, I think
He has quite a few. The one that I have any interest at all to see, and it's still 2 years away, 2019, is Indiana Jones 5. There's no title or anything for it, but
Do we still have Indiana Jones, or is it like a prequel type thing?
I didn't get any information on it. I just saw that was one of the upcoming things. He has some stuff coming out soon.
Okay.
Let's start with what he has coming out.
Well, yeah. I mean, Spielberg has been like a phenomenal director. We're going to just go over the directed stuff.
Yeah, he has...
But
he has over 180 things that he's produced, and we're not going to dabble in that because it's like pretty much a bit of everything.
Yes.
Right.
But he's also the 80s movies, E.T. and all that stuff, which we'll get into. But pretty much has been one of the greatest directors of all time.
He has 6 projects that are coming up.
As a director?
As a director.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, do you sleep?
Exactly.
Yep.
One is in production called The Kidnapping of Edgardo Mortara. Don't know if that's a short film or,
Is that a northern pronunciation?
Could be.
Totally. Absolutely.
And then in development is Untitled George Gershwin Project.
Oh, he's the one that did that. My father used to have his album, and it was like the 78 speed or something. It was like the super heavy album, George Gershwin. They also used his song for the Delta commercials back in the day. George Gershwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then he has It's What I Do. 2017 is The Post. 2018 is Ready Player One. And 2019 is Indiana Jones 5.
And that's what you want.
Yes. And right now on IMDb, that's where I'm fact-checking.
Totally.
Is the plot is unknown at this time. So it has a release date of 2019, so more than likely it'll probably be a 2020, 2021 release maybe.
It's one of those things where I'm like, how many more movies are they going to do with the Indiana Jones? Because I was not a huge fan of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, personally.
A lot of people absolutely hated it, and I still thought it was good. I liked it. I thought, what's his head? The kid.
Shia
Shia
LaBeouf.
Shia
Shia
my friend and I back in the day. Whenever
Just do it!
whenever we did something stupid, we'd be like, I don't know, Shia LaBeouf. Whenever we make a mistake, that would just be our...
Don't
our
let your
go-to.
dreams be dreams.
Oh, gosh.
Just do it.
So, yeah. Shia LaBeouf.
Save the rebellion. Save the dream. Sorry.
Nice. That's going to be a new one. Continue. Just always do that.
Yeah, there was a time that back in the 80s when Steven Spielberg and my mind just went blank, writer of the Star Wars music, John Williams.
John Williams, yeah.
Yeah, they collaborated on a few films and just iconic music. So they'll live with me for the rest of my life, man. I love that stuff.
Right.
I was at work the other day, and I just put on the Star Wars soundtrack just to listen to while I was working. It's amazing how much you get done when you listen to the Star Wars soundtrack.
Yeah, keeps things
Yeah.
moving.
And all of a sudden you get done with email.
Your sense of urgency.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to blow up a Death Star. Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much that's how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to just kind of start with the most recent, work our way back, and just kind of go over the movies, and if anything hits us, we'll
I mean, he
talk
has
about
so
the movie?
much. I mean, I feel like we'd be sitting here for like a couple hours.
Yeah, well, why
talking
not?
about-
I mean,
Okay, I'm just going to
movies,
read some. There's a lot of stuff. I'm going to read the heavy hitters. I'll bring up the heavy hitters from. I'm going to start from back in the day.
okay.
Or we can start from, well, let's just start from the top then, I guess. Most recent is the BFG, the Big Friendly Giant. Didn't see it.
Bring up from the giant. I've had a few. I can't help it. You know, that's all I think about. I can't just friendly. That sounds funny. so, I've had a few people.
Here's an
tell me-
acronym with an F in it.
I
You're
know,
like,
you
that's
can-
what I'm using.
that has to be.
LMFAO. Yeah, there you go. Gotcha.
I think I've heard from multiple people that it's actually a very cool movie. I have it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
So probably should
Bought the Blu-ray and
Right.
just sitting on it.
Yes.
This is
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
yeah, totally. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And yes, I hate myself when I do that.
Well, Spielberg is not the kind of guy that's going to shy away from getting into the real grit of history. Just some of the things is, where's it at here? The Color Purple, the Oprah Winfrey movie from back in the day.
Yep. I've never seen that movie.
You never have?
No.
It's good. It'll change your life.
It's a good movie.
Schindler's List.
Yeah. That was another good one.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know what I didn't realize, also just kind of touching upon history, just because Munich, I didn't know that he directed that movie.
Exactly.
At all.
Yeah. So you
Like-
had Munich, you have Amistad, that 1839.
Back to Schindler's List.
Jurassic Park.
I think I don't know.
Still my thunder, Matt.
I thought we were talking about the historic films. I'm just kidding.
I think with Schindler's List, he that's one of those movies I think should be played in every classroom. Every person needs to see that movie.
Yeah.
It was played in my classrooms growing up.
Yeah, but it's not like that anymore because there's it's too brutal, and everybody's sensitive to everything now. But it's just one of those movies where everybody needs to sit down at least once and see it. I watched
Yeah.
it once and left it and said, okay, I'm never going to watch that again. But I'm so glad that I saw that. Lincoln, he did Lincoln also, didn't
Yes,
he?
He did do Lincoln.
Yeah, he did Lincoln.
And I guess Homeboy got into
He did,
character with that too.
Bridge of Spies.
Haven't seen it.
Is that Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
It's like he'll go through these, he'll go through phases of actors, like because he did Harrison Ford, all the Indiana Jones movies.
Yep.
And then he started with Saving Private Ryan.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Well, didn't he also? Well, no, I know we're going off what he directed, but I know then after he did Saving Private Ryan, he produced Band of Brothers with Tom Hanks for
Right.
HBO. So
Right. And he also wrote,
Which is incredible.
and he also was
Yeah,
a
I watch
writer
that, like,
for
once a
all
year.
the Medal of Honor games that came out for PC and all the consoles.
What?
yeah,
Yeah, he was a writer on those.
I didn't know that.
And he was also a writer for The Goonies. He didn't direct it, but he was a writer. and he also wrote for the movie Poltergeist back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Poltergeist in the theater on a weekend trip with my dad after my parents were divorced. Bad call, man. I was like,
Yeah.
There he
oh my gosh, scared the shit out of me.
I watched that movie.
I was way too. I should not have gone to that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just for 1975 is Jaws. I mean, that movie is still fantastic today.
Still holds its own.
Yeah.
That movie is
42
very
years later.
influential. You know, I've been recently talking to you about that movie Sicario that I really like. You know, the music that comes from that was actually inspired by Jaws. It was like the whole entire just that kind of like that staccato. It's like it's a really simple, but it was like it's so influential to this day that it's still, you know, coming. You know, like it's still influencing movies.
Yeah.
I remember that was on HBO, and my father and I one month watched it like 13 or 14 times.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good flick.
Oh, it's a great flick. Yeah. Just watch it over and over.
I've seen a picture, and I don't know if it exists, but it's like it's a big pool or lake, and people are in inner tubes just chilling. They have a big movie screen, and Jaws is playing, and it poses the question: Would you do this? And it's at night.
Yeah. Just sitting.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
If it exists, I would like to do that. You know, that's one of my biggest fears is like deep water and you can't see.
Yeah,
it.
you don't like that at all.
No, not at all.
Remember we were hanging out.
But I'll swim all day long. I mean, that's not a problem.
Right. I remember being in Daytona and we saw something like surface like at night. Like we saw something surface like really freaking big, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like it was like probably about my second sandbar. Holy shit, that was close.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that deep in the water tomorrow.
See, a muddy river is good. I'll swim across it. I know that if there's a catfish that's on the bottom, that could like grab my foot and try to eat me, but there's nothing else in a freshwater river around here that's going to do anything.
I don't know, man.
Have you ever watched River Monsters?
Or have you? Did you read that article on the manatee? So for you listeners out there, there was
you sent me that, and I
Yeah,
refused.
you-
I was like, I refuse to read this.
He replies, "I'm not going to read it." So this 400-pound woman was swimming in Florida River, and there was a herd of, they call it a mating herd of manatee that saw her, and then, in essence, molested her and kept trying to mount her from behind and push her down. I'm sorry for laughing.
This is true.
This is a true story, man.
It's a true story.
I thought it was just a crazy
No, it really happened.
thing.
So yeah, she basically was trying to be mounted over and over and over by
By a
again.
manatee.
See, I thought that was a 0% viable thing that you shared.
Yeah, no, that was a real thing. So
You're good.
yeah, so yeah, so
Yeah, and then
he had to be saved by the lifeguard, had to come and save her and everything like that. Crazy.
too bad, man. She's got a lifeguard down there in Florida in a river, and you didn't have a lifeguard in the lazy river of death.
No, I did have a lifeguard. It just took a second for the lifeguard to get there. So after the lady screamed at the top of her lungs for him to walk 3 feet and drop that piece of plastic,
That you already,
after I was already saved. So, okay.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, right.
Sorry to relive that. Okay, and
Yeah,
after
let's not bring that up every week. I get flashbacks and stuff like that.
Oh, whatever.
PTSD.
in the shower, you like you feel like you're drowning.
The shower.
Any gentle, a gentle babbling brook. It's like he gets that look, 1,000-yard stare.
I know. I flushed.
It's like the end of Apocalypse Now.
right. I flush the toilet and see the swirling. It's like, no, I'm gonna get sucked in. Oh gosh,
All right, another film was Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
It was an interesting flick.
wasn't Richard Dreyfuss in that too? Richard
Yes.
Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
So he was in Jaws,
He's the one
and
that made the big giant dirt Devil's Tower in his kitchen.
that's right.
I love that movie.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
I know. I think I gotta put that back on my list.
Yeah, 1941, John Belushi movie
Never saw
about
it.
World War II. It is funny. It's good. It's kind of a political kind of a spoof movie, but it's in essence it's kind of not. So, It's decent.
Whatever I'm playing, shout out to my friend Matt, if he's listening. Whenever we're playing like Battlefield 1, he'll randomly go, "Let me hear your guns!" na, 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 na.
I guess I gotta see that movie.
Yeah.
Then.
It's worth the watch, man.
All right.
Let me hear them.
And then 80s were good. I mean, the decade of the 80s for Spielberg. We have starts out with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Amazing.
First.
Fantastic film.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's.
I have no words.
I saw that in the drive-in as a kid.
I just have no words. 82 was E.T.
So the first time I saw that movie, the theater was packed. I was 82, so
Yeah.
I was 9 years old because I hadn't turned 10 yet. Because my birthday's in December, so I was 9 years old. Go to the movie theater. It's absolutely packed. I'm with my mom and my sister, I want to say.
Were people smoking in the theater back then?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
All I do know, though, is that there was no seats together, so I had to sit alone, 9 years old, at a packed theater next to a stranger. And I cried my eyes out, just bawled so hard in the theater all alone. I couldn't hug my mom or nothing. But, yeah, that movie hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible movie.
And that's back-to-back movies that I know of, Raiders and E.T., that John Williams did the music on. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know he did the
Mhm.
music for those either.
Yeah.
yeah, the dun 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 dun
Yeah.
is John Williams, and then the E.T. music is him as well.
I think I'm going to watch Raiders today.
It's so good.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
83 was the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Never saw that.
He did the kick the can. He did kick the can in that. He didn't do the whole movie. He did the kick the can.
Okay, well, IMDb said that's just one of the things he directed. It didn't
Yeah.
specify that, so cool.
Yeah. Which was my least favorite of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. But I
I never saw that.
I didn't relate to it. Well, the kick the can, it's
Yeah, I need to watch it again because it's been years since.
Yeah. The kick the can is a bunch of old people go outside and play kick the can, and they go back to childhood, and they're all little kids running around. And so it's the end of the night, and they all go back to.
Well, now I'm not going to
adults.
be surprised by that when I
I'll go back
watch
to
it. Thanks.
That's just plot.
Speaking of the Twilight Zone, I'm going to go ahead and plug in. People need to watch Black Mirror on Netflix.
Oh my gosh! Have you seen that?
No.
It's like a modern day Twilight Zone.
Need to make that happen. It's modern day, and it really makes you question.
Makes you want to take your cell phone and throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Makes you want to tape all of your video cameras, which that's still freaking me out behind you.
It's not even plugged in.
It doesn't matter.
It's I can plug itself in. The NSA could plug it in. Tell me throw it away after that because I never use it anyway. So. No, it's true though. I saw Snowden. Everything.
Never saw Snowden.
Yeah,
heard about that.
But
84 was Temple of Doom, which is my least favorite. Actually, it's my second.
As a
least
kid,
favorite.
that was actually the first. Well, I was born in '85, so that was actually the first Indiana Jones film.
Well, see
that I saw.
Even though it's one of my least favorite Indiana Jones films, it's probably the most quotable. And then that's where my wife got her nickname in high school because my buddies would give me a hard time. My wife's name is Joni, and they would be like, "You call her Dr. Jones."
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
So I now call my wife Jones, but it's also like the guy that like rips the heart. He's like, Kalima, Dr. J.
Yeah, I don't think I see how it's like more on the bottom of the list, but I still liked it. I thought it was a little too easy to get them back to normal. Just put a little fire on them. Boom, I'm normal again. That was in all the years you've been messing up with these kids, and everything's a torch everywhere, and nobody ever figured that out. So
yeah, it's okay. I need you to not be so realistic about things.
For a guy who enjoys Star Wars, please.
I know. I just what?
Wait, what? Huh?
85 was The Color Purple. 87 was Empire of the Sun. Christian Bale was in that.
I vaguely remember that.
Never saw that movie.
Yeah, that's something that I
do want to
watch.
It's a big movie.
89 was Last Crusade.
Love that.
Indiana Jones movies, Last Crusade and Raiders are 1A, 1B, and they flip-flop all the time of what's my favorite.
Yeah.
So Sean Connery may be the part of that movie that makes it my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, and they really, really balanced well with each other, too.
Yeah. So you have in the 80s, you had Harrison Ford. 70s was Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss comes back in 89 for that movie Always. It's the fire movie, the airplanes.
Never saw it.
It's a love story, about the airplanes that dump the water and the chemical retardant on forest fires.
Yeah.
What year?
So, 89.
Yeah, no, I was in high school. I wasn't really caring about
Now the
those
next
stories.
movie that came out in 91 may be my favorite Spielberg movie of all time.
What would that be?
Hook.
It's a fantastic film. I actually, it was on Blu-ray, and that was a $5 bin. Where you have to set a rule for yourself. I'm not going to go dig into the bottom. I'm only going to look at the top this time. And
That
it
is
was like right on the top. Yeah,
That's a gift and a curse, Walmart.
I hate that.
I know.
I love it at the same time because I remember I was there and I saw they had the first Ninja Turtles movie, and then I was like,
Those are so good.
and I was just
Say
like,
no to
oh
that.
shit, and then I was like, they have all three of them in here, but one of them was like a broken copy. And I dug through the whole thing until I had 1, 2, and 3, and I was just like, mission success. I'm like, I really
I have
don't
never
that.
seen Turtles in Time #3. I
No?
like Secret of the Ooze.
I've
I
only
love
seen
2.
the first one. Only the first
1 and 2 are the ones that I liked. The third one isn't that great, but it
How
was
the
part of
TMNT?
those first.
How was the TMNT?
I didn't bother watching it because
They are different. It's good. Some of the characters fall short. Like Megan Fox as April O'Neil. It's just
What? No depth in the characters in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie? Well, that's shocking.
we're gonna go back to Spielberg now.
That and
What a
Transformers.
dick.
No, the 90s came in and he was like knocking him down with Hook, Rufio, and
Rufy. I didn't like.
Oh,
I didn't
here we
li-
go.
I didn't like Hook.
Whatever.
Hook was awesome.
Well, that was your childhood, though. I got 10 years on y'all, so
Watch it again, dude. Find the magic.
the thrill is gone.
Now, like I said, heavy hitters.
Hook with Robin Williams, right?
Yeah.
All right.
93 was Schindler's List.
It's a really good
Yeah,
flick.
once again, that
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
Also, 93 Jurassic Park, one of my all-time favorite movies.
That changed the game.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that in the theaters when I was a kid, and that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, you've said that before.
It scared the ever-loving shit out of me, and it's a great film. I watch it every once in a while now, but I remember when I saw it in theaters, because we had those seats that was just the screen was all encompassing and was loud as hell, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
So, you can look back on it and you think about the CGI and how everybody was just so amazed with the quality of the CGI.
It still holds up.
It does hold up.
That
but
holds up
still.
better than a lot of movies at that time.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Back at that time, but then you look at what CG is now today. You're like, wow.
You know what's crazy? Just because I literally was just talking about a few minutes ago with Rogue One. A lot of the actual sets that look like sets are not sets. They got robbed on the Oscar for visual effects.
Totally.
I mean, there was nothing there, and
Except
it looks
the green
like
screen.
physical. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But go on.
After Jurassic Park, he took a few years off regarding directing stuff because he had, like I said, he had over 180 something stuff that he's produced.
Right, he's done a lot of.
So
He
he
wasn't.
sat back. He's like, I'm just going to help other people.
So he came back in '97 with Amistad, which the story is pretty epic story. It didn't get a lot of.
I couldn't watch it as a
acclaim.
kid, but I actually watched it a couple years back.
Yeah.
Actually sat down and watched it. I was like, wow, that was a really good movie.
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with it.
Really?
Is that one of those important history watches?
Well, it was a slave ship that was adrift, and it was found off the coast of Long Island, and so it was like the white American people trying to figure out if they're going to be slaves or free men. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
97 was Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Not my favorite Jurassic Park.
Is that the one where T-Rex came back to New York?
Yeah,
That was stupid.
yeah,
Thanks for the action movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading, trying to start the book, the actual book, the Michael Crichton book. And it was way over my head, and it was so vulgar.
Well,
There was
think
so
about
much
the
cursing.
books.
Really?
Yeah, I was what was a 4th or 5th grade, reading that. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Felt like they were breaking some rules. Right?
Exactly, because my parents didn't know.
Yeah, and
You
the
know?
movie wasn't vulgar like that.
Yeah, and I got it like through the book club in my elementary school. Like that, people really didn't know.
Yeah, just clueless.
So I was
well,
just
it's
like,
based on the movie.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Backwards. So is the book better?
Yeah.
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 The book is more detailed, like everything, and it kind of incorporates. There's some stuff in the book that's
Is it more mature themes?
Well, there's just more details and more of the storyline is like in both 1 and 2 movies in the book.
Okay.
It's like the first book.
What did y'all think of Jurassic World?
I never saw Jurassic World, actually.
It's worth a watch, but
Everybody told me it was Jurassic Park 1, so I was like, oh, I like the first movie. I'm not going to watch it again.
yeah, I get that.
So
It's another action movie. I mean, it's worth the watch.
it's like when they remade Total Recall. I'm like, I like the first one. I'm not going to watch
No,
it
it wasn't.
again.
It wasn't.
Totally different.
Totally different movie from what I understood, but I was just like, don't do this to me.
No, see, you have to watch Jurassic World because it takes place.
It continues. It's a continuation.
It takes place 20 years later. They think they've corrected all the things
Wrong.
that went wrong from the old guy. What was the guy's name? I forget the name character in the movie. But like it mentions him in there.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, that dude.
Totally.
The remake of Miracle on 34th Street. Fantastic. Good pull, sir.
On Dino Island. Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it's worth the watch, but another one, it was just an action entertainment movie.
I think it goes a little more in depth, man. Like the whole storyline of why they created what they created.
Yeah.
Because we as humans, we want more.
Yep, and then they were splicing dinosaurs with each other.
Yeah.
DNA, I mean, it was good, but yeah. Not home to mom about, I wouldn't say.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the cast was great. I mean,
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Anything he touches is great now.
yeah.
fantastic. Absolutely.
In May.
And Guardians is coming
in
out
May.
soon. Oh, my
in
gosh.
a month.
Oh, yeah. Be prepared for that, people. Guardians podcast.
Volume 2.
Volume
Totally.
2. Can't wait.
Yeah.
We should have
Absolutely.
a watch party of the first one. Sit together, watch the first one.
Yeah, man.
You know, prep, and then go check out the second.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was after that?
After The Lost World was Saving Private Ryan.
That
Amazing.
movie is fantastic.
So, I just want to ask you guys, with that, do you think that's the best war movie ever made?
It sets the standard.
Yeah, it does set the standard.
It changed the way war movies are shot.
Yeah.
It did change him. There's the whole entire like
I think it
the
changed.
shaky cam. Like,
Yeah.
And it had the strobe effect.
Well, I think
Also, it's almost like it skips every third frame or something like
Well, the
that.
thing about it is,
And it's almost like it's a really soft...
I don't think it changed the movie perception of war movies. I think it laid the groundwork of all the first-person shooter games.
Oh, I
It kind of did, yeah, because, well, you have to think that around that time, well, there was other first-person shooters at the time, but for, like, you know, like, the historical, like, kind of, like, grounding it a little bit more, because that's where Medal of Honor, you know, and then the first Call of Duty, because the first Call of Duty was actually developed by the Medal of Honor team.
Right, who
So-
was World War II was
like-
when the first Call of Duty.
Right. Now, I can see that. Well, was it that or was it the Thin Red Line that came out first? Because I feel like it's arguable which one would actually set the standard.
I'll GTS it. You guys keep talking.
Right. But no, that is one of my favorite war films. Well, that one, it's not historical. I mean, it's not historically accurate just because it actually takes
It was right around the same time.
yeah, they
What-
came
what-
around. I
what
think
year did
1998.
also 98 Thin Red Line? They came out right around the same time.
Yeah.
right.
But Saving Private Ryan. Was
Saving Private
superior
Ryan is
to it.
it is a better movie.
I worked at the
But-
theater. I was in high school then.
Oh, dude, greatest job ever.
It is.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Yeah, I was the
That's
usher
a great high school job. You
I was
see
the-
everything.
usher manager, and I would stay up late on Thursday nights. Friday would suck at school because I wouldn't get home until like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because I would change the marquee, then I would get to go pick and watch one of the new movies that were releasing on Friday. Because that was kind of before the midnight premieres and everything.
Right.
Or the theater I worked at didn't have the midnight premiere, so it was good.
Question. So you worked at the movie theater, and the first date you brought your wife to was to a movie?
Yeah.
So you brought her to work.
No, I met my first date was before I had the job at the movie
Oh,
theater.
okay.
Yeah.
Totally.
You work there, just like, I'm going to show you my job.
How cool I am. I know all these people here.
No.
I bet I can get free popcorn. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I told my son that he needs to go work in a movie theater. So.
Yeah, if you get a job in a movie theater, that's a good gig.
Plus, you can work weekends at night. I mean,
Right.
it's not what every teenager wants to do, but
You can get away with it.
you can get cash and still have fun.
Right. Then after Saving Private Ryan, because I mean that was also one of those movies that was it was in the theaters forever.
Yeah.
And I remember
Yeah.
it was like every single history class like had that movie, like at least the opening scene, with storming of like Operation Overlord and all that. Like it showed that like the invasion. I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was just like, "Holy shit! I've never seen anything like this before."
Yeah.
So,
I didn't know
Yeah, they
had
had-
in high school also. They put that in high school also?
yeah,
We
definitely watched.
we had
that
to
in
bring
high school.
people like counselors in to the theater, like when it first came in, because
there was a lot of vets and stuff.
a lot
that
of
were-
vets that would come in, and it would really, really shake them up, put them right back into that.
Have you seen...
They were very accurate with the weaponry and stuff, and like the sounds of everything, like the way like the. Just because I'm a bit of
it gave you
buff
a
on some of that.
massive sense of realism.
Yeah, and one of the things also like just like how loud war is.
Yeah.
Like there was much more of a sense of like you hear a gun go off, like you play a video game, like the whole entire sense you can hear your footsteps and like a gun going off. It's
Yeah.
you're gonna be like deaf. Your ears are gonna be ringing. Like there was much more of a sense like the tanks, you can hear them coming from like a freaking mile away.
Yes,
They were so damn loud, and by the time they're getting to you, like that scene like towards the end where the tigers, like Tiger and the Panzers, they're rolling into the town, and like everything's shaking, and like there's like dust coming
Yeah.
off of the buildings, and like you
Yeah.
can hear it like tinkling off the top of their Thompsons and shit. I was just like, best sound design also at that time in a movie. Best sound design. It was like
Yeah.
groundbreaking. It was like the benchmark that like because I'm all into theater sound. It's one of the benchmarks that like when I get like a new theater sound, it's that scene.
yeah.
Is like I test like what like how a sound system sounds.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know if we can rank or clarify a best movie for him.
There's
I
so
can.
many good ones.
For me, I can.
I think at this point where there's so many great movies that it's just
It's
on
great
a
movies
personal
that
level.
and it crosses all kind of genres. From fantasy to action to
he has a
realism.
very good mixture.
Yeah, and then 2001 was AI, artificial intelligence.
Love that movie.
I wasn't a
he
fan
did
of
the
that
end of
movie.
it though. Didn't
I never saw it.
I loved
Never
it.
saw
It was
AI?
long. It was long, and it was basically it could have been over, and they added to it at the end. And didn't somebody direct it, and then Steven Spielberg finished it?
No, I'm pretty sure he went through the whole entire movie.
GTS that.
I don't. I'm not going to.
The one that I didn't know that he did was the one that came in right after.
Catch Me If You Can.
Well, he had two that came out that year.
Oh,
So, not Catch Me If You Can.
Oh.
I knew he did that.
that was another Tom Hanks flick as well with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's just a good watch. I mean, it's
Right.
just a good story. And then Minority Report with
That's- yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that I did not know that he
that
did.
was interesting too when I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even see that. I didn't even put two and two together.
No, I never. And I've seen that movie probably like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good movie too.
That is.
yeah.
And then 2004 was The Terminal. Was that
Phenomenal.
Never saw that.
It's not.
another Tom Hanks flick?
Yep, and Tom Hanks killed it. You didn't think you were looking at Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
and it's not an action. He's stuck in a terminal. You can't.
Yeah,
It's
because
like-
he's
Not a
not a U.S. citizen. He's got to wait for his visa to clear or something like that.
something like that, and then he can't go back to his country because something's going on with the country.
Yeah.
So he's stuck in the terminal. And
So he gets to know
he
gets-
creates relationships with people that work at the place and people that fly in and out on a regular basis, and he creates relationships with them. It's really great. It's a really great movie. That's when you just sit down and just kind of watch. It's not action, but
yeah.
it's Tom Hanks is such an incredible actor. So, yeah, I highly recommend that to everybody.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is good. We may have to do that. We may have to parking lot that for a Tom Hanks podcast.
Oh, that'd be good, yeah. Just go over Tom Hanks movies.
Yeah. After the Terminal was Munich.
Never saw it.
I like that movie a lot.
Need to.
2005, another movie that year was War of the Worlds. Another Tom Cruise movie. Remake of a movie from years and years ago.
I'm kind of a big... I mean, Steven Spielberg's such a great director. I'd rather see something original by him than try and do something. Try to remake something that's already been done.
I mean, the special effects and everything was good.
It was a pretty looking movie.
The cast is what didn't deliver on that.
There was just too
Tim
much
Robbins,
that I was just
that was
like,
weird.
eh. Yeah, he had a
The Tim Robbins
weird,
character was really weird.
Yeah.
weird character.
Who was the girl in it? Was it
The daughter?
Was it
Dakota?
Dakota Fanning?
Yeah, it was Dakota
Yeah, it
Fanning.
was Dakota Fanning.
Who was a good actress? I mean,
Well, she did Twilight, so I don't know if you can call her a good actress.
she was like for 12 seconds in like the last ones.
And then 2008 was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah. Still wasn't bad. People really crushed it. I didn't think it was as bad as people thought it was. Thought it was still good. Good movie. It was cool to see Indiana Jones still running around.
Yeah. I guess I'm such a... I mean, with Last Crusade and Raiders...
Oh, yeah, in comparison.
But that's like biblical historical stuff, and this is like aliens, so... I mean, it was...
Yeah.
It was hard to swallow as a...
It wasn't in touch with reality enough for you. And the giant spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it was the Russians instead of the Germans. So...
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be messing with like the Germans and occult type stuff, like weird, like mystical. And they also were like, after so many artifacts and stuff, it made more sense, not the Russians.
Yeah. That's very interesting to if anybody wants to Google that or research it, look at everything the Germans were trying to do from World War I to World War II with trying to find ancient relics and everything.
It even it spawned video games like Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein is based, a lot of that is like, based on that.
I've never played Wolfenstein.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had several people recommend it, but just...
But yeah, there's a lot. They did a lot of crazy crap. Like, and they had some really high aspirations, as far as what they were trying to do with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. 2011 was Warhorse.
Warhorse?
What the hell was that?
Saturday Night Live's kid. He kept saying it over and over again. Warhorse? So that's all I
Yeah, I
know
never
about
saw that
movie.
one.
Never saw that one.
I bet the horse died at the end.
Probably did.
Yeah, it's just...
I just can't handle animals dying in a film. Like Turner and Hooch, Tom Hanks film. It just... That, killed me. And then...
Marley and Me.
Yeah, that was...
That was
Have you ever seen Red Dog? Dude.
Old Yeller.
Where the Red Fern Grows? When I was a kid... We watched this.
They didn't have TVs.
No. Screw you.
I got 10 years on you.
So I was watching. So I was at school. What grade was I in? I want to say.
Was it before or after they turned the color on?
It was. Yeah.
That's a good joke.
It was color. Yeah. It was filmed in Technicolor.
It was. Oh, that's awesome.
So they played that at school. So like that. All the classes go. I think it was. I want to say second grade, and we go into this big room, and they have a bunch of TVs set up, and they're playing Where the Red Fern Grows. So once again, I'm at school, and in front of a bunch of strangers because it's all different classes, sitting on the floor watching this movie, just sobbing my eyes out when those dogs died. Man, it just destroyed me. And back then when they did movies, if a dog got attacked by another dog. That shit was real. That was real. Back in the old school Disney stuff where they shot something and it died. That really died. That was not like...
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, dude. When you look at it, you're like, oh, that's real. Because you can't do that. You can't animate that. Because they didn't have that back in the, 60s
Yeah,
or
have
50s.
trained dogs and blood packs and stuff like that.
Where the red fern grows. Go watch
Never
it.
seen that one.
Cry your eyes out, dude. That should have ruined you. Like the champ.
All right, 2011 Spielberg, The Adventures of Tintin.
No, it just looked cheesy to me.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, never watched that. Lincoln, we've already talked about that.
I was really afraid to see that one in theaters.
Lincoln?
Yeah. Oh, it's like, what, 17 and a half hours long
Wow.
or something?
Nobody got that joke. That really
Oh,
does. You guys
okay.
really disappoint me. You both really disappoint me.
I get it now.
But you're not Lincoln, so I wouldn't get that.
Apparently, he got like way into character. Daniel Day-Lewis got way in character when he was in the movie.
You know, that actually reminds me because I made that joke. It was like, you remember when Mike Pence, and just trying not to get political here, but when Mike Pence went to see the play. You know exactly what I'm talking about, where he got roasted in the
Hamilton?
theater. When he went to see Hamilton,
Yeah.
that Trump said the theater is supposed to be a safe place, and the first words that came out of my mouth were like, "Tell that to Abraham Lincoln." That was the first thing I said. I was just like, "Shit."
That's hilarious.
What did
Forever
John
smartass.
Wilkes Booth say when he got on stage after he jumped down and broke his ankle? Something in Latin.
I don't remember. Let me look that up. Hold on, I'm good. GTS.
Oh, it's a real thing?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a setup for a joke.
No. 2015 was Bridge of Spies.
Never saw it.
Looks like it'd be pretty good.
It does.
Tom Hanks was a lawyer and had to go be the lawyer for somebody for another country. I don't know. It was just...
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah, that does look like it's...
It was like a catch-22, damned if he does and damned if he doesn't.
Oh, and the quote was "Sic semper tyrannis."
That's right.
Which means thus always to tyrants.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2016 was BFG. So...
I haven't seen, which I'll probably watch this week.
So, what is your favorite Spielberg film?
Favorite Spielberg
said.
film? From childhood memories.
Can we do like favorite genre for... I don't know if I can do an overall, man.
Overall, I think I'm gonna go Jaws, actually, because I just have so much childhood memories with it.
For me, it's a tough tie.
Jaws was so perfect. The way they just waited forever.
I mean, even in one scene,
for you actually to see the shark.
yeah, and even in one scene when it shows Roy Schneider, it just shows him, and he's just looking across the sea. It's just a close up of his face, and you see a shooting star in the background. It's just like freaking magic, you know. Smile, you son of a bitch. That we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
You know, how many times I say we're gonna need a bigger scooter. I mean,
I didn't realize that also with Jaws that was actually based on like an actual shark that was like was Matawan, New Jersey. Like it went all the way up fresh water and was terrorizing people. It's kind of crazy, but
Thanks, man, for telling me that. Now I'm going to be weird going into the rivers now.
well, manatees.
We're a little too far up for that.
Sharks
to
and
work.
manatees.
Sharks and manatees. You never know. No, for me, it's probably going to be Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, that movie.
They're all just so good.
Well, for me, like Schindler's List, my grandmother was liberated by the Russians, and so the whole entire the Americans, the whole entire World War II. I always have a little bit of more of a connection, because of that, because my grandmother had the numbers tattooed on her arm because she was in Auschwitz and she was also in Dachau. So I always. Schindler's List is a great movie, but it was a little bit just too hardcore for me, especially how they took Auschwitz, and
Super real.
it was just a little too real because I knew it was somebody that my family went through that. So that's
and not even knowing anybody that went through it myself. Just you felt like you were always shifting in your seat.
it's uncomfortable to watch
From the beginning. It's hard to go through that, but you have to.
especially that scene where Liam Neeson's like, "I'm gonna find you." And
wrong movie.
Oh yeah, totally. No, I was kidding. I was kidding. I had to bring a little.
So
light
you're
to
going
that
with
'cause
Saving Private Ryan.
I'm going with Saving Private Ryan.
I'm going to go with Jaws, although I could switch any day between 5 other movies on the list. So
Right.
Saving Private Ryan being one of them. E.T. absolutely adored. just.
I think after that, for me, it's either Schindler's List or like Raiders.
Raiders
at that point.
Great movie. Remember seeing that in the drive-ins. So, what about you, buddy? Nothing. Can't do it. You're the one who asked the question.
I know. I asked the question. I was like, "Hey, let's do Spielberg films,"
So
and then I
let's
started
talk
looking
about our
at
favorite Spielberg film, and you're like, I can't
I don't
say.
have one.
I wasn't
Well-
ready.
Exactly.
I wasn't ready.
Exactly.
Oh, what to do?
I mean, Jaws is just. It's one of those movies. Jaws is one of those movies that every time it comes on, no matter what part of it, even if there's 5 minutes left on it, I'm going to sit down and watch it.
Yep.
And I feel like that about Jurassic Park. I feel like that about Hook, Crusade, and Raiders for the Indiana Jones movies.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Because I had a little drink about an hour ago and it went right to my head.
It's good.
On that note,
Well played.
thank you. Let's wrap this up, guys.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, B.
All right.
So
We got the Oscar acceptance
I can't.
speech music.
I'm not going to be able to decide. Just everybody, just go get your favorite movie and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, too many good things on that list.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Anything you want to say before we go?
No.
All right. You want to say anything before we go?
It's just short and sweet, and bye.
All right. Hashtag.
Be loved.
Hashtag.
Because Metallica.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. And remember, even a speed bump can be a jump.
But bum bum. Thank you for supporting Walking in My Wheels. You can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you have something to say, email us at walkinginmywheels@gmail.com. Keep being awesome people and hashtag be loved.